posters of yesterday. When the Nazis were occupying France, you would see some graffiti, Vive la France, and the underground network of back in the day. I think the memes that people younger than me make a joke to get a point across. That's how they communicate.
Right.
Sarcasm.
Right.
And I think it's great. I think it's hilarious. I think it's wonderful advertising to get your point across. And hopefully, my hope is that one day we will see some high-profile individual get thrown in prison. I would love for it to be one of the Clintons. That would be great. Probably not going to happen because they know too much. They're way too high-profile, way more high-profile than Jeffrey Epstein ever was.
Sure.
So they're too valuable. They're not going to disappear in some, nefarious way. They're still going to be there.
But again, they're not as they're not the players they used to be. I don't think that they ever will be again. I could be wrong.
No, I don't think so. I think their daughter may rise in some political.
Well, there you go. That would be an exception.
Yeah, but she wasn't hiding bodies across Arkansas and trafficking cocaine to the east and west coasts. And
and by the way, is it a coincidence that your husband is a Jew?
Right.
There we go again. Yeah. One more conspiracy theory. One more link to Mossad and Jeffrey Epstein and the Israeli government. Holy mackerel.
It never ends. This is what they want. They want to create confusion. They want us to be labeled as conspiracy theorists. But if you believe that those hijackers on 9/11 worked together to fly planes into buildings, that's a conspiracy. You're a conspiracy theorist.
Mm-hmm.
9/11 and all that is another podcast all on its own. But the fact is that these guys conspired to fly these planes into buildings on September 11th.
Correct.
That is a conspiracy.
And the theory is why they did it and who was behind them.
Right.
Those are different theories about that. That's by true definition, you're 100% right.
That's right. So you're a conspiracy theorist if you take it as fact that those men worked together to fly those planes into buildings. Conspiracy theorist gets thrown out like, okay, you believe in that the Bilderbergs are eating golden babies and all the weird stuff that goes on in Bohemian Grove, and that it's, that's all fun stuff.
Well, Alex Jones proved Bohemian Grove was a big deal.
It's very weird.
First Bohemian, and just to bring Alex Jones up again, okay. He brought up Bohemian Grove. There's no such thing as Bohemian Grove. Yes, there is. Here's the pictures. Here's the footage.
The video. Go to YouTube and watch it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know what? Yeah, there is a Bohemian Grove, but it's just a bunch of boys being boys having fun. That's all it is now. So it's like a frat house for old men, okay, where you chant demonic sayings and run around naked. Old men like that.
What?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everybody does that for fun.
You do a mock sacrifice to a god, an owl god?
Exactly. Just all in fun. First it didn't happen. When you proved it did, now it's all in fun.
Right. No big deal.
And people have said that I'm an apologist for Alex Jones, and I'm not. But they said because I'm not too unlike Alex Jones, whereas I will go into these podcasts that are intellectual on one end, and then I'll talk about Bob Lazar and UFOs, and then just behind you over your left shoulder is a poster of Bigfoot. Okay, over my left shoulder are two stuffed Pikachu animals. Okay, so I don't take myself 100% seriously either. Yeah. But where there's smoke, there's fire, and I think what we've done on this podcast is we haven't necessarily accused people of things, but we've asked questions, and that's what I like to do. I'm a big fan of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the author who wrote all the Sherlock Holmes novels. I've read every one of them, and the big thing that Holmes would say is that the way to find the guilty is to eliminate all the innocent. To find out how it happened is to find out all the ways it could not have happened, and what's left is the truth. And that's kind of what I like to do. That's what we've done today on this podcast. If not this, then what? If our theory, if our ideas, if our opinion as to how this went down is wrong, then tell us how we're wrong, and tell us how it really is. And you really can't do that, okay?
Right.
You can't say, well, this Jeffrey Epstein, he was really just a rich guy who had some buddies. No, he wasn't a rich guy who had some buddies who happened to be the movers and shakers and biggest people in the whole world. Bill Clinton would not have gone there 26 times and denied all but 4 if this was no big deal.
Right. The Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia.
Exactly. The Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia and the Prince of Wales. Or
Prince of York.
Wales,
Duke of York.
The Duke of York, correct. The second son of the Queen of England.
Right.
Yeah. Rich guys who just like to party, these people don't hang around with them.
No.
They don't do it. So, once again, say we're wrong. Say we're full of baloney. Say we don't know what we're talking about. If that's what you believe, that's your right. That's your opinion. All you need to do then is explain to us, if not this, then what? Thank you so much, Max, for coming out for the podcast. And thanks so much for bringing this whiskey. This is fantastic.
You're welcome.
I'm going to read the bottle. The Glenlivet Single Malt Scotch Whiskey. In 1824, George Smith established the distillery on the remote and wild location of Glenlivet. Here, he founded the perfect conditions to craft the definitive single malt whiskey. Through this timeless primeval valley run the icy waters of the River Livet. Its name, smooth and flowing one in Gaelic, reflect the Glenlivet's beautiful, rich, and elegant flavors. Smooth flowing one. It's very good.
It's good whiskey.
It is. I'm not a huge fan of Scotch, but Bubba, I am a fan of this one. Yeah. Thank you. Hey, thanks for a good podcast. Cheers.
Thank you very much, James, for having me. I would like to leave everybody, say, don't forget our American roots. We're suspicious by nature, suspicious of authority. We're independent. We want to think for ourselves. I would just ask people, don't forget that. Think for yourselves. Be suspicious.
Ask questions.
Love our country. Love your neighbor. And let's see where that goes. And also, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
There you go. Max Countrywood, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And thank you for your service to our country once upon a time. Appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's it. We're done. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. I sure enjoyed bringing it to you. Did you like it? Then share it with your friends, please. If you liked it, wouldn't you at least want to share it with somebody who you think would appreciate it as well? JamesStrongShow@hotmail.com. That's the email address. Send me your email address, and I will send you a link upon publication so you can download it and listen to it at your leisure. You can go on to umpteen bajillion different other formats, and I've mentioned this to you. In fact, I'm even on YouTube, which I don't know why someone would want to view a podcast on YouTube, but I've looked at the statistics, and people certainly do it. So there you go. That's it. We're done. Again, until next time, this is James Strong saying adios.